Hey, Unitic here. I've been trying to get my buddy Cuz on camera here for about 10 minutes. He has been having some health issues. His hips are better. Some of you all know he had some hip issues. But he's also had some skin problems, and I think it's actually a yeast infection, Candida, which a lot of Lyme patients, chronic illness patients can empathize with. Shows up on a dog's skin, but it starts in the digestive tract just like it does for humans. Many of us that have had long-term antibiotics have dealt with Candida overgrowth, me being among them. So Cuz has gotten some medicated baths here in the last couple of days, and he's a little gun shy when I try to get him to come to me because he thinks we're gonna get another bath. He's doing better though, and I wanted him to be on camera today because it's great to be back home and be reunited with my canine buddy. We've been together almost 11 years, Cuz and my son Gabe and I. And Gabe is coming home from college today. Get to see him a little bit for fall break. This is my first video since I finished the Trek for Truth. Last Saturday, October 10th, I completed the last 38 miles of the bike trek from Chelsea, Indiana, where Drew picked me up back in late June, at the end of my hiking portion, about 1,100 miles. And then we started on July the 31st going west from Louisville. All right, buddy, if you want to get out of frame, you can do it. Let him go find a place to hide. So anyway, we finished the last of about 3,030 some odd miles last Saturday, and the whole trip wound up being about 4,140. And today I'm here at my sister and brother-in-law's house. They've been putting me up here since I got off the trail because I don't have a home. You know, I sold my house to some neighbors. They've been living in it since I left for the Appalachian Trail summer of 2013 to try to raise awareness for Lyme disease. And this is actually my abode right now, my hammock, my tarp, and my portable stand I made. Looking for a small apartment, small house, whatever, something simple and affordable and quiet here in Louisville, so Cuz and I can find a place to throw our gear, what little we have left, backpacking, cycling gear, and dog bed, and continue our work. I've been a little hesitant to record another video because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to say, but I watched an amazing first installment of a documentary last night that is put out by the folks behind Truth About Cancer. And you can find them on the web, The Truth About Cancer, find them on YouTube. And they started a new 9-part series last night, broadcasting it for free on their website. And last night was a history of chemotherapy and the medical monopoly. And the medical monopoly, as anybody that's watched my videos, read my information, knows is a topic that I'm passionately drawn toward for whatever reason. Beyond getting sick with Lyme disease and all the lies behind that, I have a deep, deep drive to understand why this wave of illness, lies, and deception is dominating the entire globe, but particularly the civilized world. So I highly encourage you to watch installment 1. I know it will be available today. I've shared it on Facebook. Remarkable job, 2 hours, about an hour of which focuses on the history of Western allopathic medicine and the monopoly that it is, as it was started by some very successful monopolists, complete psychopaths, liars, manipulators, and mass murderers in my book. People like J.D. Rockefeller and his son John Jr., the people behind the Carnegie Foundation, and several other megalomaniacs that think they have the right to rule the world and decide who lives and dies. Beneath this video, I'm going to link one I did all the way back in May in Ohio, called The Truth About Eugenics and Genocide, because I think there's an even bigger story going on, and I'm going to be totally blatant and out front and over the top about it, because I'm absolutely convinced through my research, and I am definitely not alone, that the story told in The Truth About Cancer's first episode is grand, and it's the best distillation of recent history around the people behind the allopathic medicine, pharmaceutical, chemical medicine monopoly and the lies that they've been telling long before any of us were ever born. But it's even bigger than that in my mind, and it does get into the topic of what some people call chemtrails, aerial spraying, and all the other ways that toxins and substances, including very, very advanced technological biological substances, are being introduced into our bodies, creating sickness, creating debilitating and deadly diseases, and creating, honestly, genetically modified human beings. You can't really dive into these topics without broaching into the area of transhumanism, which, as I said in my earlier video, is just another word, an evolved phrase that represents the same thinking behind eugenics that goes back at least several hundred years. So I got fired up again when I saw that documentary last night, and I just wanted my viewers and followers to know, just because I've stopped peddling for a while doesn't mean I'm going to quit sharing this information and following my passion and following my inner guidance. And this topic is one that we will revisit with new information, existing information, and continue to try and share it. Drew and I have still got some work to do to decide how we're going to do our internet TV show. Probably going to call it something like TFT TV, Trek for Truth TV. And even though we're not walking, riding every day, we're still peddling the truth as we know it, for anybody that wants to take what we've learned and integrate it into their own research, empower themselves, come to their own conclusions. But yeah, get up off your ass and stop taking your reality from the pablum that's doled out from mainstream media. You know, one thing I've become quite convinced of is if it's on mainstream media, it's loaded with bullshit. If it's served up to you in mass by the same people that own the pharmaceutical cartels, you can bet your bottom line there's an agenda behind it that doesn't serve you. And if you dig and do your own research, I'm confident people will come to that conclusion, as hundreds of thousands, if not millions, all around the world already have and continue to. The truth will come out about the reality of the human species, who we are, who we can be, and as Drew would say, the heaven on earth that we can co-create once we see through the lies and understand the wizard behind the curtain holds no power over us. I said it in an interview with Ellie Lobel that the biggest lie that's been perpetrated upon humanity is there are things that we have no power over, challenges, problems, crimes that we can do nothing about. That is an absolute lie. There's nothing that we can't overcome if we're willing to apply some courage, some brain power, and most importantly our heart in digging for the truth. So I want to thank everybody that's been following me on this trek and supporting me, people like Laura Walker, Saul Luckman, Andrew, who runs Laura's Facebook page, The Oracle Report, and so many others that came out to support me and celebrate with me in California. A lot of Laura's followers, all of the Lyme patients and Lyme warriors, my friends, my family. You may not agree with everything I have to say, don't expect that, but I hope you're inspired to chart your own path, do your own work, empower yourself, find your own personal truth, but get engaged, because our children and our grandchildren and their grandchildren depend upon us not taking information that's offered up from the traditional sources at face value. There's a great poster I love that I've put on my Facebook page a number of times. It says, something to the effect of a conspiracy theorist is basically someone who doesn't take the repetitive lies of liars at face value. And if you watch The Truth About Cancer, you're going to see how deep the rabbit hole goes with people who have been conditioned to lie for their own survival, whether they're backed into a corner to do it, which many of us are. You know, we don't feel we have any other choice but to go along and get along until we don't. And I'm just personally, my spiritual immune system is rejecting lies on all fronts. And if it comes through mainstream media, as I said before, question it. Question authority, question everything. Ask yourself why we are literally programmed from our earliest years in this society and others to blindly obey and believe authority figures. It's not random, it's not by chance, and if you do the research, you'll find answers to those questions through places like tragedyandhope.com, people like Alan Weisbecker, and so many other people that are courageous enough to stand up and say the truth as they understand it, regardless of the social consequences that they may suffer. So that's my soapbox for today. I'm fired up. Beautiful day here in Louisville, Kentucky. May go out for a bike ride tonight. Excited to see my son. And cuz you can relax, no bath today. So for now, Logan, Unitic McCulloch, Trek for Truth, out for today.